How big of a misstep was it to move forward with this MOU without getting buy-in from Indigenous leadership?
If you were actually serious about this project, that's the only way it's ever going to get built. In the absence of the support from the coastal First Nations, the project's not going to happen. I think the Prime Minister knows that, and I think that's the kind of language he uses when he's here in Ottawa. Don't worry, there's no project, it's going to be fine. But we saw him in Alberta getting 2 standing ovations from the Chamber of Commerce of Alberta, which you only get, or in Calgary, which you only get if you are going to deliver a pipeline. So it's this double messaging that's been really, I think, it worked in the very short term for the Prime Minister and for the government, but in the long term, they're going to get caught up in the 2 different messages they're sending.
To make change in the country, you have to be able to have conversations with people. You have to do things better, which is what this C5 legislation is. I think it's important to allow the process to take place. The government is trying to do something new, trying to do something different. There will be yeses and there will be nos at the end, but you can't write it off right from the get-go. Of course there are 2 voices.
There are 2 voices within the Liberal caucus.
Okay, but there's
2 voices within Mark Carney's head. That's the biggest problem. Mark Carney himself is making 2 different announcements. Is the epitome, I said this the other day, he's the epitome of him, of saying 2 things in 2 different places. And the problem is there are video cameras in both places. If you watch what he said in Calgary, it's this thing's getting built. We're building this pipeline. Here we go. High five, Daniel Smith. Then meanwhile, he comes back to Ottawa, and when attacked by environmentalists, or when rightfully pushed back by the First Nations who control the land on the coast, he says, no, we're nowhere near making the pipeline. We're just open to the idea now. And so those 2 positions held by one person who is the Prime Minister is what's causing this conflict. It's why there's so much confusion within the cabinet, because the person at the top isn't clear, and I think it's intentional.